Part 3. 2 easy verb tenses.
We're going to stick with verbs a little while longer. Up until this point, the verb conjugations we've been doing have all been in the present tense. Coming up, we're going to explore 2 new tenses that are pretty easy to make, the present progressive tense and the immediate future tense. First up, present progressive.
Section A. The present progressive tense.
When we say present tense, we mean stuff that's happening now, in the present. But what if we told you there was a way to say that something is happening right now, this very nanosecond, even as we speak? We do. It's called the present progressive tense, and it's used to express actions that are in progress. We'll show you an example in English, then we'll show you how to form the present progressive in Spanish.
Check out these sentences. Ferdinand battles dinosaurs. Ferdinand is battling dinosaurs. See the difference? The first sentence is in the present tense and means that, from time to time, Ferdinand enjoys knocking some dinosaur heads together. The second sentence, however, is saying that Ferdinand is battling dinosaurs right this very second. This is called the present progressive tense because the action is in progress right now. So in the English, to form the present progressive, we use a conjugated form of the verb to be as a helping verb. Then the main verb with an ing on the end, is battling. This ing form of the verb is called the present participle. So the English conjugation for to battle in the present progressive tense is I am battling, you are battling, he, she, it is battling, we are battling, you are battling, and they are battling. Spanish works pretty much the same way. By using a conjugated form of the verb estar as a helping verb, then the present participle of the main verb. To make a present participle in Spanish, all you do is add a special ending to the verb stem. Ando for AR verbs and yendo for ER and IR verbs. So, to form the present participle of an AR verb like hablar, you just chop off the ending and tack an ando, which would give you hablando. To form the present participle of ER and IR verbs like comer and vivir, chop off the endings and add yendo. Comiendo, viviendo.
So remember, when you see an ando or yendo stuck to the end of a verb stem, think ing. Preparando, preparing. Celebrando, celebrating. Moviendo,
moving!
Now you're getting it. Ando, yendo. That's the present participle.
Okay, now that we know how to make the present participle of a main verb, let's walk all the way through the conjugation of a verb in the present progressive. We'll use the verb luchar, which means to fight. First, we use the normal conjugation for estar. Then we form the present participle of luchar. We knock off that AR ending, which leaves us with the stem. Now, since luchar is an AR verb, we'll add ando, luchando. We plug that into our chart, and now we're ready to go.
Estoy luchando contra los dinosaurios. Y ella está luchando contra los dinosaurios. También. Juntos, nosotros estamos luchando contra los dinosaurios.
Let's try making the present progressive with an ER verb. The verb comer means to eat. So to say we are eating, we'd use the nosotros form of estar, estamos. Then we'd make the present participle of comer by taking the stem, com, and adding our progressive ending for ER and IR verbs, yendo. Estamos comiendo. We are eating.
One more. Let's say you all are living using the IR verb vivir. And let's suppose we're talking to a bunch of kids, so we'll use vosotros. The verb for to live is vivir, so the present progressive would be estáis viviendo. We just conjugated estar into the vosotros form, then tacked our progressive ending to the stem of vivir. Estáis viviendo. And since it's the present progressive tense, we're saying you all are living right now as we speak.
Nosotros estamos preparando la cena. Estoy usando mucho ajo y por eso mi esposa está abriendo las ventanas.
The more you practice the present progressive, the easier it will become. Soon you'll be doing it in your sleep. But before you get too cozy, we're going to have to show you a few verbs that have irregular present progressive forms.
Look at the verbs traer and leer, which mean to bring and to read. If we were to go about business as usual with tacking on progressive endings, we'd get this. Do! Traendo, leendo. 3 vowels in a row, that's a train wreck. And that's why in Spanish, the progressive forms of these verbs are made by replacing the middle vowel with a Y. So for traer, we have trayendo, and for leer, we have leyendo.
Está trayendo un pastel a la fiesta.
He is bringing a cake to the party.
Ellos están leyendo los periódicos.
They are reading newspapers. See? Those Y's help things read along more smoothly.
Here's another issue we have to look at when we talk about the present progressive. Remember all of our friends from the section on stem change verbs? Usually we can treat them like regular verbs for the present progressive tense. To say she is having, we'd say está teniendo. We take the stem, attach the ending, and go. So while tener has an irregular conjugation in the present tense, it's perfectly regular in the present progressive. But some of those irregular verbs are irregular in the present progressive. Remember those stem changers, venir and servir? To conjugate these verbs in the present tense, we told you that the E in venir goes to IE, and the E in servir goes to I. But to form the present participle of these verbs, you'd write viniendo and sirviendo. There aren't really any patterns you can follow with these particular verbs. You've just got to try to learn them as you go.
Okay, before we move on, we've got one more verb to show you. Ir. We know ir is pretty messed up, so it stands to reason that its present progressive form's a little different too. It's yendo. So to say I'm going, you'd say estoy yendo. She is going to the store. Ella está yendo a la tienda. We are going to the Museum of Mildew and Fungus. Nosotros estamos yendo al Museo del Moho y de los Hongos. This yendo construction is hardly ever used, but you still need to be able to recognize it. Boy, do we love that ear.
What say we use the translator to see what's on the tube? If we're lucky, we may run across a present progressive verb or two. And remember, the present progressive is used only to express actions that are going on now as we speak.
It's our first night as cooks in this fancy restaurant! How exciting! And how busy! Are you preparing the pasta? No, I'm still reading the recipe.
The waiters are serving the meals and there's still no pasta surprise! Hurry up!
Yes, boss! Here's the Es nuestra primera noche como cocineras en este restaurante elegante. ¡Qué emoción! ¿Y cuánto trabajo? ¿Estás preparando la pasta? No, todavía estoy leyendo la receta.
Las camareras están sirviendo las comidas y todavía no está lista la pasta sorpresa. ¡Apúrense!
¡Sí, jefe! ¡Aquí está la pasta!
The present progressive is a verb tense we use to describe actions that are in progress, happening right now, as we speak. To form the present progressive, we need two things: the helping verb estar, conjugated to match your subject, and the present participle form of the verb that's in progress.
To form the present participle of an AR verb, you first chop off the infinitive ending, then you add ando. So the present participle of the verb hablar is hablando. Estoy hablando means I am speaking.
To form the present participle of an ER or IR, you chop off the infinitive ending, but this time you add yendo to the stem. So the present participles for the verbs comer and vivir are comiendo and viviendo. Some of the verbs that are irregular in the present progressive are traer, leer, venir, and servir. So keep an eye out for those.